Good evening at the end of Saturday for the London E-Prix, the final round of the Formula E World Championship. And we had a fairly decent race here today in London. There's a pit boost race today, no pit boost tomorrow. We're going to get straight into it because I know how bad my voice was by the end of it tonight. So hopefully it should somewhat be all right today, and we'll try and do this a little bit quicker. So we'll start off with Koopiro, who today... Beckman finished P12, Dan Ticktum retirement. Dan had a great qualifying, P4. Yeah, unfortunately he ran on at T9 trying to overtake Sam Bird, and unfortunately went straight into the barrier, and so that was the end of his race. David Beckman was running in the points for most of that race, and honestly, kudos to him. But yeah, unfortunately it wasn't to be. P12 for David Beckman, which I believe is his best result of the season, so still kudos to him. But yeah, he and annoyingly we couldn't speak to Dan in the press pen because he wasn't there. He was up at the stewards. The result of that, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's for the thing with Mitch Evans. He spun Mitch Evans, but yeah, we will get onto that a little bit later on. David Beckman felt that he could have scored points today, but he was undercut during pit boost. With no pit boost tomorrow, he feels somewhat optimistic about his chances. So we will. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. Right, we'll keep on moving down. We'll wait till the safety car comes past, and then do you want me just to spin around so like you can see where you're walking now, Aisha? There you go. And then I don't mind walking backwards, just let me know when I hit something. Right, what a day for this team. Oh, it could have been the win. It could have been the win for Nick De Vries, but realistically, he said that there was no chance of holding back Nick Cassidy when he had both attack modes and De Vries had none. What was interesting that we learned in the press conference was that Nick De Vries actually suffered a puncture in qualifying, and so couldn't complete his first run, but did it on the second run. He was quickest in P2 as well, not P3. P3's tomorrow. And so yeah, great day for these guys, and they're now into the top 5 in the Constructors' Championship. On top of that, I believe they're only 10 points behind DS Penske as well. Top 4 for Mahindra in the Championship. I mean, like, we thought that they'd have a good season this year, but I think they've surpassed what all of us really thought, and these two working incredibly well as a team. Obviously it's the end of their second year together, so yeah, good on Edo and Nick. Right, we now come to Lola. It's a difficult day for them. Zay Maloney retiring, Lucas Di Grassi P17, and yeah, Lucas Di Grassi also getting a 10-second penalty at the end of the race for not completing his attack mode. He did a 2, then a 6, which meant that when the safety car came in, there was not enough time for him to complete all of his 6 minutes, and that was that really. So yeah, nothing that these guys could have really done today. But yeah, tomorrow is a new day, as someone said in the press. Someone said that today, I can't remember who. It was in one of the videos on the YouTube channel. Obviously go check out all our content from this weekend. There'll be driver interviews on the channel as well. I'll be honest, it's got to the end of Saturday and I'm knackered already. I genuinely, just like my feet have just been aching all morning. Stop here at Maserati. And both of the cars got into duels today, which is fantastic. Unfortunately for Jake Hughes, that race lasted all of about 150 metres, I'll give it. He was involved in contact at turn 2 that broke the front right suspension, and that was that really. He very swiftly tweeted after that, taken out lap 1, turn 1, don't know what I did in another life. Van Dorne though, P4, mega result for him. Was really impressed with the strategy. It wasn't planned, it was just because of what happened with Gunter and all the chaos down at T5 and T6 that sort of like opened up that opportunity for Stoff. So yeah, mega result for them, P4. I think that's one of their best results of the year, I think just behind Tokyo. So yeah, right, McLaren. Oh, Oh, Sam, you almost did it. 20th to 5th. What could have been? Admittedly, he did have to take that attack mode, and in the presser, in the pen, he said, had he taken attack mode one lap earlier, it would have been a different story. He fell through the field on the last lap. That's because of an incident with Robin Freins, where Robin and Sam came together and punctured Sam's tyre, so he fell to the back of the field and then just retired at the end of the race. He was down on power as well, so he was lifting and coasting just a little bit. Taylor Barnard, both of these cars involved in that that lap 1, turn 5, 6 pile-up, where Gunter crashed out and they got stuck behind them, and so that was their race done, realistically. So Taylor was just doing laps today, and yeah, ended up P13. That's it. There we are. Right, we will bask under the top 3 and the podium and everything like that. And I'm going to use this opportunity again to shout out the fact that we've got a meet and greet tomorrow, 11:30, next to the Costa, between the Costa with the Porsche with the flowers on it outside. Yeah, that one. Also, maybe a special announcement. Ooh, interesting. Right, let's go to Envision. What have I got on Envision? Robin Freins in the points for the first time in a few races. I mean, I really felt for Robin Freins in Berlin. He had 2 fantastic qualifyings, but on that circuit, qualifying was unnecessary. When you have the top 3 in that second race coming from 20th, 18th and 16th on the grid, it begs the question, what is the point in qualifying? So yeah, Robin, fantastic to get into the points. However, we are not sure whether he's going to, he's not sure whether he's going to keep them because of the incident with Sam Bird. I hope he keeps them, and he thinks that he might keep them because I was surprised, so I'll take that. Seb Buemi was around the lower edges of the points and then fell towards the end, which was a shame, and ended up in P16. Whilst Robin Freins picked up 6 points for P7. Right. We now move on to Andretti. Jake Dennis, another man who I really want to speak to in the post-race media pen, didn't turn up because he was at the stewards as well. That's because he finished 5th but got a 5-second penalty that demoted him to 8th. There was an incident with Roland. On the other side of the garage, Nico Muller is not a happy bunny whatsoever. He was taken out by Seb Buemi in that race while he was running in the lower echelons of the points. But he said that there was no pace in the car today. The setup's all wrong. There was no grip. They need to rip it up and start again, basically. And with 1 race to go, if you're not happy with it, you can just turn tomorrow into a test session, but there's no point, because that's the end after tomorrow. There's no point in doing it after that. Yeah, we'll now head down to Nissan, which I failed to mention yesterday, even though it was right in front of my eyes. They've got a new livery for this weekend. And Ollie Rowland, you might have seen, he's got a new crash helmet, which is gold, celebrating his championship victory. And he's delighted that he got that championship victory in Berlin, because that was a torrid day for the new champion. Not happy at all with the performance of the cars. It was over the course of the day, even in free practice 3, he wasn't I think he was 13th in free practice 3. Didn't get through to the duels. And the thing is, we've seen it in the past where he's starting in these lower echelons of the points, or just outside the points, and he's still able to get up there and fight, and that's what's earned him this World Championship. He just wasn't happy with the pace today, and it was across all 4 Nissan cars, not just these 2 but also the McLaren, so that's something that they need to look into for tomorrow as well. Head down to DS Penske, where you got Max Gunter, number 7. That's the number of corners he didn't even complete in the race today. He was involved in that first lap incident with Edo Mortara. No further action for that incident, but Max didn't care about that anyways. So yeah, fortunate for him. Jeff, and again, there are lots of people who sort of stayed out of trouble today and then got decent results, and Jeb is one of them. He finished 5th after Dennis's penalty, and so yeah, mega result for him. Gunter was just looking ahead to tomorrow's race, but we saw that they had the pace, so we'll have to see what happens with them. Porsche, and it was P3 for the outgoing champion Pascal Wehrlein, P14 for the man that's coming up behind me, Antonio Felix da Costa. But I'm not going to shout about that too loudly. Wehrlein's not too fussed about finishing second. I mean, there he is. He's in the background over there. Da Costa's just coming in the shot as well. And yeah, they're just focusing on teams and manufacturers for tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Pascal. And yeah, Antonio Felix da Costa is just heading into the back of the garage over there. His front wing, his front wing looked nothing like this today. After his incident with, I think it was with with Roland. So apparently there was a power cut, which meant that the brake shut off and he just went straight into the back of him. So yeah, and that caused the car to, yeah, and so his front wing looked nothing like that, and it's probably in a bin somewhere over that way. But yeah, these guys are on the brink of winning both titles, so I'm not, and with the Nissan's performances today, I'm not sure if they're that worried about losing, about them taking the championships. That is more than, it's looking like it's going to be on a plate for them. So yeah, we shall have to see tomorrow. But tomorrow is a completely different race, no pit boost. I think it's slightly shorter as well. So yeah, we will have to see. Which means that we come down to Jaguar CCS Racing. There's the trophy. There for Nick Cassidy. P1 for Cass, P10 for Mitch Evans. Cassidy was concerned during the pit stop when he was sat here that he might be undercut by cars that were on the lap before, and it was key to have his attack mode at the end, because that's what the race winning move on Nick de Vries was. He has rated this as his best win for Jaguar. Mitch was super unlucky. He got spun by Dan Ticktum just as they came back into the building, and recovered to P10. Feels like he could have, would have, should have won this race, but he got stuck behind David Beckman, and that was what did it for him. Right, there we go. That's the end of the pit lane. Actually, I will just mention, these guys are, I think, 16 points behind Nissan in the constructors. They can finish second, and after this year, that's kind of, they've sort of called this like their write-off year. To finish second in the constructors, incredible. So yeah, they've won 4 in the last 5 races. There's such a strong end to the season, and end to the partnership with Nick Cassidy as well. But yeah, we will have to see what happens tomorrow. So yes, we shall see you tomorrow. Bye.